You've had great success with your 3+3+2 strategy. Can you explain how that strategy works? What's the focus now?
Sure. I think the 3+3+2 strategy refers to the number of countries that we're focused on. As you know, we are a pan-Asia real estate company, and actually, in addition to Asia, we are in the Middle East and we are in Europe. And the first three refers to the three countries where we have a very large position, which is basically Singapore, China, and Australia. The next three are basically Malaysia, Vietnam, and Europe for service apartments. And then the next two are India and Japan. 3+3+2, basically the essence of it is a strategy of focus, right? Where we feel that because we have a very good position, leading position in the first three countries, it makes a lot more sense to really focus on these three countries. I mean, Singapore, China, and Australia alone takes up about 80 or over 80% of total group assets and 99% of the group's EBIT. So it makes a lot of sense to actually focus on these three countries and really extend our presence there. So, for example, in Singapore, China, right, we are every day looking at projects on the residential side, on the office side, on our retail malls, our service apartments business. And that's an area where, I would say the first three countries are the areas that we really want to focus on. Not only do we want to have leading positions in the first three countries that I mentioned, but also we want to go deep into, for example, into China. So, for example, in Shanghai, right, I would say in the past, 6 to 8 weeks, we have done so many things in that city. We have increased our stakes in 2 malls, we have increased a stake in our office business. We already have a critical mass of people who are already based there, who know the markets very well. So as we get more involved in more projects in these cities, we can actually spread out, the talent and the people. It makes things a bit more efficient. I think the other aspect is as we grow our presence within each city, people will know the name of CapitaLand. Local governments will also regard us as very credible partners, and they will come to us, right? And I think we will also be able to work with them together to develop major parts of the city.
So what's the key to a great real estate investment for a company of CapitaLand's size and scope?
Well, I think what's really important is, one, of course, in all our investments, being a listed company, we need to really focus on profitability, and I think that's very important, and returns to our investors. But I think what makes us a great company, I think is we need to really make sure we hire the right people. And when I say the right people, it's just not people who are focused only or who have experience in the real estate sector, but people who are capable, who are willing to learn, who are very hardworking, and also people with very high levels of integrity. Because we work in Asia. Asia is a very large geography, right? Very large area with many different styles of doing business, working with many different people. Levels of integrity is very important, and I think that's an area where we can differentiate ourselves by hiring the right people. And I always think our senior management also believes that you not only want to hire the best person for the job, but also ensuring that the best job for the person, right? And we want to make sure that happens, and that's how we can retain our talent.
Of course, CapitaLand is one of the leading players in real estate in Asia. How do you maintain that preeminent position?
I think from various ways, right? As I mentioned, I think we need to continue to retain people, right? I think we need to also think about the quality of our product and the projects that we are working on. While we are a real estate company, we like to build projects, but I think in order to make us a really good company, a great company, right? We'd like to develop projects which will really be an icon for that city or for the locality we're in. Right? We'd like to, basically define the area or redefine the area. And as you have seen in many of our projects, both in Singapore and China, we have done that. In Singapore, for example, we just Ion Orchard, for example, our retail mall in the Orchard Road. I think, once that development came up, I think it really redefined how shopping is carried out in Orchard Road. And I think it is a tourist magnet in that place. Everyone has heard about Ion Orchard. So that's, I think, will really define us. Not only ensuring that we remain profitable, right, as a company, and we continue to earn the adequate return or superior returns for our shareholders, but also making sure that the quality of the product we deliver is extremely high.
You take an upbeat view on the long term in China. So Overall, what's the picture there?
China, yes, you're right. I mean, we are upbeat, we are very bullish on China. I think at the individual level, I think Chinese in general have a great fire in the belly, right? I think every single one of them, I mean, they have very good work ethic. They always want to do better, and I think we like that in the people. I think at the government level as well, the government is very pro stability, but also very pro growth. And if you look in this kind of current volatile conditions we're in reality, I think the only government that can credibly stimulate the economy is China. I think the dynamics of the population in China are also very strong. And that's why I think all of us at CapitaLand as a whole is very bullish on China. We've got high levels of rising middle class. We've got very rapid rates of urbanization, which is always good for real estate. And I would say at the end of the day, I think the amount of wealth that's been created and continues to be created is quite astounding.
So let's turn to your home market here in Singapore. Sure. What are the highlights for you here? What do investors have to look forward to?
I think there are some interesting projects that are coming in the pipeline. We are developing this project called the Market Street project, which is an office building in the heart, in the prime area of the Central Business District. It's interesting and it's iconic because it will be built as a green building. In fact, it's I think it has more than 50% green ratio, which means that this building will be, I think the facade and the appearance of the building will be something that will really be very unique in the landscape of the CBD. I think on the residential side in Singapore, I can think of many projects in Singapore which we are currently developing. Interlace, we just announced yesterday this Bishan project, which is designed by, or the architect is Moshi Safdie, who also designed the Marina Bay Sands. I think these will be very interesting developments that have come out, interesting buildings that people will really appreciate.
Finally, one of the keys to CapitaLand's success has been operating a complete real estate value chain. What are the advantages of that?
Real estate is a very capital-intensive business. It is also a very cyclical business. Because we're involved across the value chain, we're able to recycle our capital very effectively. And so as a result, you'll see that we have a very stable recurrent income from fees, as well as dividends from our stakes in our holding companies. At the same time, we get development profits, and we actually are able to ride the cycle very well as a result of a very well-balanced income stream. It also allows us, because we are in various kind of segments of the value chain, it also allows us to work with many different very reputable partners. I mean, one example I can give is Mitsubishi Estates. We have partnered with them on the residential side, we have partnered with them on the office side, in Singapore, in Japan, and then we also have some partnership with them in Vietnam. In China, we've also managed to JV with some of the sovereign wealth funds, very credible pension funds. And at the end of the day, at the CapitaLand level, we have our public equity investors and many of our stakeholders through our debt holders. So I think it also gives us the added advantage when it comes to being a credible real estate player when we are delivering a product. One trend we're seeing in many cities is the Raffles City product, right? Where it's effectively a mixed development product where you have a retail mall combined with an office building, combined with possibly a service residence building. We're involved in all that segments, and it gives us the ability to actually deliver a very superior product for the city. So I think that these are some of the advantages that we're seeing.
Arthur Lang, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Harold.